Okay, so here's the point I'm trying to make. Leo Santa Cruz has fought at 112 pounds, 115 pounds, 118 pounds. He was a champion at 122 pounds, even though he literally fought no competition and sparring partners. And he is now the WBA Super World Champion at 126 pounds. However, his opponent, called Frampton of Ireland, has only fought at 122 pounds, where he was a champion, and basically began his career fighting, you know, at 124, 125, just shy of the 126 pound division. So with Carl Frampton being about 5'5", more closer to, he looks about 5'3", 5'4". I believe he's listed at 5'4", and you have Leo Santa Cruz, who is what, about 5'9". To me, honestly, from looking at their last few fights together, when I look at the Crystal Valos fight, he pretty much blew him out. The rematch with Kinko Martinez, the fight with Alejandro Gonzalez, and the fight with Scott Quigg. The issue I think that's going to be, well, the biggest issue I believe he's going to have is dealing with the height and the consistent, constant pressure of Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz throws over 1,000 punches around, and he seems to be even more comfortable and better at 126 pounds compared to at 122. You didn't really know how to grade him because he was really literally fighting nobody, and he was a champion. I mean, after all, if you don't know, his son is actually named after Al Heyman. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's Leo Al Santa Cruz Heyman or Al Santa Cruz Lee Santa Cruz Heyman. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is him and Al Heyman are very close, and a lot of people felt that Al Heyman was giving him easy fights because of their relationship. There was at one point in time where Leo Santa Cruz gave this very, very heartfelt speech and, you know, kind of got Al Heyman into a little bit of hot water when he was just saying, you know, he's the best manager and, you know, he should get the Warden Award. Remember that? I believe it was, I forgot what press conference it was, but go and watch the video. This type of Leo Santa Cruz, Al Heyman. And he was really, you know, like praising Al Heyman, just like fighters do, but not to the extent that Leo Santa Cruz went out of his way to do so. And, you know, Al Heyman doesn't like a lot of attention. I look at it like this. Carl Frampton, in this fight, it's going to be in the Barclays Center. It's going to be on Showtime Championship Boxing. The undercard was supposed to have Danny Jacobs versus Sergio Mora too. A lot of people don't want to see that fight, and it still is going to happen from my understanding, but just at a later date. But that's for another video. Carl Frampton is going to have to do a lot of moving. Remember, in his last fight, he broke Scott Quigg's jaw, but there was at one point in time, I forgot what round it was later on in the fight where Scott Quigg started turning on the pressure, and you saw at one point in time he took some body shots and looked over to Shane, his trainer, in the corner, and was looking like, yo, this shit is really starting to hurt. But he did express, you know, that he was having trouble making a 122 pound limit, and also that you know, his diet was just monotonous. He was bored with it. So after the Alejandro Gonzalez fight, I actually have an interview here on the channel from one of my colleagues where Fred was talking about, yeah, he was saying he was going to move up to 160, 126 after that fight. But then you saw Shane McQuiggan was like, no, you know, we're going to go back to the gym and, you know, work on some things. He was like, no, we're going to stay at 122 for now. So he was supposed to be the mandatory for Guillermo Rigondeaux because whoever won between Scott Quigg and Carl Frampton was ordered by the WBA to fight Rigondeaux next. So it's like this. A lot of people are going to say he ducked Rigondeaux, you know, whatever the case may be. I really feel that he really was having issues making that weight, and he damn sure wasn't going to try to make that weight for a fight with Rigondeaux, even though I felt that Carl Frampton would give Rigondeaux some problems, and also that I felt that he would have been one fighter that would have actually fought Rigondeaux without any political shit being involved. But, you know, it is what it is now. That fight's pretty much dead. So he was ordered by the IBF to fight Shingo Waki or Wake. I forgot how to pronounce his last name. And he's been stripped of his IBF title. and he vacated that WBA title. He is full-fledged 126 pounds now, fighting for Leo Santa Cruz WBA title. And like I was saying, you know, to get back to my point, he's going to have to do a lot of moving, man. Leo Santa Cruz, like as a pressure fighter, is relentless. And he's really got a Mexican chin. He's got a chin. He can take some punches. And I'm just wondering if Carl Frampton will be able to hurt or give Leo Santa Cruz something to think about coming in as far as stopping the pressure of Leo Santa Cruz. Because unless moving up to 126 pounds gives Carl Frampton more, you know, endurance and improves his stamina, he usually somewhat has problems later on in fights. You know, even though he wins and he's still undefeated, of course, he has some problems later on in fights where he starts to use Al Bernstein's words, you know, lax on the ropes. You know, and with Leo Santa Cruz, that's not the type of fighter you want to do that against, because he's just going to keep punching. Leo Santa Cruz's tank don't empty. You know, so that's the biggest concern about that fight, is how is Carl Frampton going to deal with the pressure? And if he beats Leo Santa Cruz, I'm going to start saying, hey, listen, throw this guy up in the pound for pound top 10. You know, seriously. And where does he go from there? You know, the 126 pound division, you know, you got Gary Russell out there. You know, that's a fight I would love to see, Carl Frampton versus a Gary Russell. We can't talk about Lomachenko because he's now 130 pounds. Nobody wanted to fight him. And there is still a chance that Rigondeaux would move up to 126. There's still a chance, but there's some political shit involved with Al Heyman and Rock Nation, and Rigondeaux is signed with Rock Nation. You know, it's just, you know, it's just a mess. But July 30th, 2016, I'm working on getting to that fight. It's going to be in New York. It's going to be on Showtime. So far, the undercard is not official yet, but of course, Frampton versus Santa Cruz versus Frampton is, and I'm really interested to see where does the winner go, you know, from there. But if I was to pick who's going to win, and me being a big Carl Frampton fan, for those who have been following me, you know I'm a Carl Frampton fan. With this fight, honestly, I got to go with Leo Santa Cruz. You know, I got to go with Leo Santa Cruz, and I'm not a Leo Santa Cruz fan. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.